It's time once again for America's favorite show, The Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd, brought to you by drfloyd.com.
We begin this episode in the American wilderness on June 13th, 1805. We are standing at the edge of the Great Falls of the Missouri River in what is now the state of Montana. A man steps out of the bushes and surveys the natural beauty that is in front of him.
This is the grandest sight I have ever beheld.
This is Meriwether Lewis, one half of the famous exploring duo of Lewis and Clark.
I must write this all down in my journal. I must try to capture the pure beauty of this peaceful scene in words. It truly is a beautiful...
Mary, where are you?
The man now tromping through the bushes to catch up to Lewis is his partner, William Clark.
Hey, Mary.
I'm over here, and please stop calling me Mary.
Why, that's your name, isn't it?
Yes, but it sounds like a girl.
Well, what should I call you so it doesn't sound like a girl?
Use my full name.
Meriwether?
Perfect. Now just look at what we stumbled upon. These falls are the most magnificent things I've ever seen. It leaves me without a single question as to the true power of nature.
Well, I have a question.
What's that?
How are we going to get across?
As Lewis and Clark are now faced with the task of finding a way around the Great Falls of the Missouri River, let's see if our hero, Dr. Floyd, his young protege, Dr. Grant, and their faithful robot companion Chips have figured a way around their little problem. Dr. Steve has made a time jump. We've got to go after him.
But we have to take care of my mom's Pomeranian puppy, Mr. Beardychins, while she's in Florida.
Dr. Steve has landed near the Missouri River in 1803.
Dagnabbit, I don't know what we're going to do, Dr. Grant. We can't just leave Mr. Beardychins here all alone.
Well, then, we're gonna have to take him with us.
You're right. Grab his leash and bed, Dr. Grant. I'll get his food. Chips, grab his puppy treats. Come on, Mr. Beardychins. It's time to travel through time and space.
As our heroes gather up Mr. Beardychins' belongings, let's catch up with the evil mastermind Dr. Steve and his sock-shaped assistant Fidgert, who are just now stepping out of their time and spaceship in the wilderness of Montana in 1803.
Now be very careful, Fidgert. There's lots of dangers around here. Oh yes, grizzly bears, rattlesnakes, etc.
What are we doing now?
Well, as you know, President Thomas Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on an expedition to explore the United States west of St. Louis, which at the time was almost completely unexplored, except by Native Americans. When they left on their journey, they bought 3 compasses for $2.50 each. Yes, we are going to swipe one, and just imagine the return on that $2.50 investment when we sell it on eBay.
Dr. Steve and Fidgert are plotting to steal one of Lewis and Clark's compasses. While they do, Dr. Floyd, Dr. Grant, and Chips are currently aboard their time and spaceship racing to the year 1805 to try and stop Dr. Steve.
Just make sure you put down plenty of those papers. I don't need any accidents in this ship.
Chips and I have the papers down, Dr. Floyd. We should be covered. So what do you think Dr. Steve is up to?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's trying to do something to the Lewis and Clark expedition. On June 13th, 1805, the Lewis and Clark expedition ran into a major roadblock to their travels, namely the Great Falls of the Missouri River. It took them a month to get around it.
Wow, I can't believe we're going to get to see them in person.
I know, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Just think, we get to meet Superman and his girlfriend.
Superman and his girlfriend?
Yeah, Lewis and Clark.
Dr. Grant, that's Lois and Clark. We're going to see Lewis and Clark.
You just said the same thing twice.
No, I didn't. What?
Look at that. Mr. Beardychins is standing right in the center of the papers.
Yes, and missing them completely. Go get the steam cleaner and clean the carpet.
While our heroes try their best to swab the decks of their ship, let's turn our attention to the expedition of Lewis and Clark, who have now camped for the evening.
What is for dinner tonight?
The fare is really sumptuous this evening. Buffalo's humps, tongues, and marrow bones, fine trout, parched meal pepper, and salt, and a good appetite. The last is not considered the least of the luxuries.
You can make anything sound appetizing.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? I should write that down in my journal later. So, what's the story on crossing the river?
Well, guides are saying it should take only a few days to get across. I'm thinking it's going to be longer.
Well, that might not be a bad thing. I'd love a chance to explore those falls a little more.
Alright, just make sure to take your S-Bentoon. You don't want to get cornered by a grizzly without a weapon.
Good thinking. You organize all our gear?
Yeah, we'll start working out how we'll do the portage in the morning.
This is it, eh, buddy? 2 friends out in the great wide open.
Yep, the Great American Road Trip.
As Lewis and Clark enjoy the thrill of being in the great outdoors, let's catch up with Dr. Steve, who is hiding in the bushes on the outskirts of Lewis and Clark's camp.
Okay, Fidget. Lewis and Clark's camp is just up ahead. We'll wait a few more hours until they go to sleep, and then we'll sneak into the camp and steal a compass.
Dr. Steve is just a few feet away from pilfering the compass of Lewis and Clark, and Dr. Floyd and the gang are nowhere in sight. Is Dr. Steve going to get away with this scot-free? Will Dr. Floyd arrive in time to prevent Dr. Steve's evil plan? And what the heck is an S-Pontoon anyway? Find out on the next exciting episode of the Radio Adventures of Dr. Floyd.